All right, and we are back. Excuse me. All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Sports Podcast. And for the final part of the show, we are going to talk about the Mets as they currently hold the best record in baseball. They're coming off of a very good homestand. They went 7-0. They swept the Cardinals, and they swept a division rival in the Philadelphia Phillies, who have now lost 4 in a row because of that. But yes, they are currently 18-7 and 8-2 in their last 10 games. They have one of the best run differentials in the majors at 36 or plus 36, and the only team that's better is the Cubs, who are at plus 43, and they're coming off of a series sweep of the Dodgers. Now, I did put the Mets at 4 in my power rankings, and look, I think being at 4 is not bad. You're still one of the best teams in the majors, but now they have the best record in baseball, and you got guys in their lineup that are producing. Some guys aren't, but they'll get it going. Pete Alonso has looked really good this year. Francisco Lindor, he's batting over 300 right now. I mean, he's gotten off to a much better start than he did last year. I mean, last year he was still very good, but he started off slow. But right now he's batting over 300. He's got 5 homers, 14 RBIs, and 869 OPS. And then Pete Alonso, he's batting 341 on the season. 341. He's got an 1100 OPS. He's got 6 homers, 26 RBIs on the year. And look, they're doing it without Juan Soto, producing. I mean, he drove in a couple of runs, this past series, and he's looking better. But, right now he's not putting up Juan Soto numbers. Anthony in the chat, what's going on? He says, how's it going today? Things are going good. We're getting ready for the draft. Big weekend coming up with that, the NBA playoffs, baseball. And if you're not aware, Anthony, make sure to tune in tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be my last show hosting the GSMC Sports Podcast. So make sure to tune in. You've been a regular for a while now. But yeah, tomorrow, if you're not aware, tomorrow is going to be my last show. So make sure to tune in. But I wanted to get back to the Mets. But you look at some of these batting averages, though. Like Brandon Nimmo's batting under 200. Mark Vientos has gotten off to a brutal start. Brett Beatty actually hit a home run yesterday, but yeah, I mean he hasn't been great. They're hoping Jeff McNeil gets back soon. They haven't had Francisco Alvarez. They're missing guys, the Mets, and they're still doing this, without a lot of the guys producing in the lineup. But it's also because their pitching has been very good. Outside of maybe Edwin Diaz, their pitching has been really good. They are the best in baseball when it comes to team ERA. Their pitching is pitching to a 2.34 ERA, which is, again, the best in the majors. That's a big part of it. And I've said it. Their bullpen, has kind of been a weakness of the team for a while, but it's a strength. It's a strength. And they might have to go out and maybe get somebody else to, address the closer role. But look, you got to like where the Mets are at right now. And right now they got a 5-game cushion on the Phillies. The Marlins and the Nationals are 6.5 games back. The Braves are starting to play better. They're now 7.5 games back. They're 10-14, but compared to where they were at, they still got some ground to make up. But the way they were looking, you're like, man, are they going to finish with that bad of a record this year? The way things are going, but they got to get healthy as well. Also, Spencer Strider got hurt again, which is not good. Anthony in the chat. A couple of things. With his last 2 performances, do you think it affects the trade value for Sandy and what Miami can actually get for him, or his last 2 performances don't really matter? It's still early. It's still early. I mean, let's see where we're at when we get more towards the trade deadline. I think there's still teams, that are going to want to trade for him, because there's teams that are always going to need pitching. He also said, because I'm reading where reports on MLB trade rumors and hearing it from ESPN and MLB Network, that they're probably going to trade him by the end of May. We'll have to wait and see. But he is definitely going to be someone that I think we could see getting dealt at the deadline. But I think, with the the recent performances that he's had. Look, I mean, he's coming back from a major injury, right? So obviously, yeah, it might not be great in the beginning, but let's see what happens next year. Let's see where he ends up. Let's see where he ends up. But he is someone that is going to be a popular trade candidate. But I mean, you look at the Marlins. I mean, 11-13. They're not doing horrible. I mean, their run differential is not great, but they're 11-13. They're around 500. Look, they made the playoffs a couple years ago. Maybe they find a way to sneak in and be a wild card team. No, I don't think that. I don't think it's going to happen. But right now, they're in a position where they're not thinking about that at the moment. So, yeah, but the Mets, they're looking good. They're 12-1 at home this year in general. I mean, that is very impressive. I mean, look at what happened last year, how they started off. I mean, they are a good team. They are a good team. And also, you look at some of the injuries that they have to the starting rotation. Kodai Senga has gotten off to a great start. Griffin Canning has looked good. Look, if they add a starting pitcher to that rotation at the trade deadline, I mean, they still need to add a couple of pieces, like I said. Maybe a starter, maybe another bat. But they're looking good. They're looking good. I don't think there's really... I don't think you can complain about anything. I mean, yeah, you want to see guys do a little bit better in the lineup. Nimmo, Vientos. I mean, obviously you want to see Soto batting better than 230, but they're going to get it going. Well, Soto I know is going to get it going. I don't know, and Nimmo. I don't know about Vientos. Vientos last year, he was great, but, we got to see the consistency. And, I mean, I think he's a better player than 175. So, we'll see. But... yeah, I mean, the Mets, good position right now. They're in a good position. Both New York teams are in first place. Mets currently hold the best record in baseball. So, we'll see if they can keep it up. Anthony also says, I don't know what it is. I think by the deadline we're going to be 12 games under. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Look, it's only April, or we're about to be in May. We see some of these teams with, the Giants have gotten off to a good start. I mean, I don't really know what they are going to be when we get to, we get more towards the summer. There are teams that are going to start to, kind of come back down to earth and, show who they really are. I mean, you can't really, evaluate a baseball team after 1 month. I mean, you could talk about how, teams have gotten off to good starts or poor starts, but once you get, July, August, then you're like, okay, you kind of have a good idea of where these teams are at. And he's also, Anthony, can you explain to me what is happening with Texas? Is the inconsistency with their pitching, or is it more the offense that's hurting them? Even though they've been playing well, they've gone into extras. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really been paying attention. I mean, I'm keeping up with the standings. Right now, they're 14-10. I mean, the run differential is not great. I mean, they've only put up 77 runs, which is not good. That's like... yeah, they got the same amount of runs scored as the Rockies. Actually, no, they don't. 6 more runs scored than the Rockies, which still isn't great. Right now, well, let's see. Let's look at where they're at, the Rangers. So, let's look at their pitching. So, right now, the Rangers are 6th in ERA. They are 4th in WHIP. Opponent's batting average, they're 7th. So their pitching is good. I mean, but if you look at their hitting, I mean, let's look at the batting average. Batting average, they're 24th. Home runs, they are... where are they? They're 12th. RBIs, they're 27th. On base percentage, they're 28th. They got a 278 on base percentage. Slugging, they are 23rd. OPS, they are 25th. So it's kind of the inconsistency with the lineup. The problem is the lineup. They're not scoring runs, but their pitching's been good, so it's kind of equaled out. But they're in first place right now. So, you want to see guys get it going more. I know Jock Peterson, who they brought in, he's gotten off to a bad start. But yeah, so I guess when you look at the Rangers and their stats, it's the lineup. The lineup is not producing the way they're hoping, and they got a good team. Look, this is the team that won the World Series a couple of years ago. Last year I think what they finished with 78 wins. But you got a healthy Jacob deGrom, you got a Valdi, so the pitching is good, but the lineup's got to get it going, and you got Bruce Bochy there still, so still got to respect this team. But yeah, they're in first place. But you definitely want to see this team start to pick it up a little bit offensively. Because what's funny is you look at they're 14-10, but I think their expected win loss total is 10-14 right now. But they're also at home. They're playing really well. They're 10-3 at home. They're 4-7 on the road. 5-8 against teams over 500. But we'll see. Right now, they're 1 game up on the Astros and the Mariners. They're 2.5 games up on the Angels, and then they're 3 games up on the A's. And the A's got some young players to be excited about. They brought up Nick Kurtz yesterday, and he had an RBI single, I think in his first at bat. Yeah, there's that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the show for today. Anthony, appreciate the comments. Make sure to check out all the other shows on the network throughout the day. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to our videos, to our YouTube channels, wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure to check us out on there if you want to listen to us on the go. And yeah, tomorrow is going to be the last show. Tomorrow's going to be the last show. That's it. That does not mean though that I'm going to disappear. We'll talk more about that tomorrow towards the end of the last show. But yeah, we're almost at the finish line, which it's sad, but it's also exciting with what I am trying to plan, what I have planned coming up on the horizon. So make sure to tune in tomorrow for the last show. We're going to talk draft, NBA, and I'm trying to have something planned for the final segment. I did bring it up briefly, but yeah, that's tomorrow's the last show, as I keep saying it. So, as always, I'm your host, Kenneth Grunfelder, signing off from the GSMC Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Have a good day. Enjoy the draft. Enjoy the playoff games tonight. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care.